人为的。
是吧？啊，正好我看那大哥，咱们都一块儿了啊。
女士们、先生们，让我们以热烈的掌声欢迎中华人民共和国全国人大常委会委员长赵乐际先生、各国与会领导人入场。Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Zhao Leji, Chairman of the Standing Committee of China's National People's Congress, and leaders of participating countries.现在，请博鳌亚洲论坛秘书长张军先生主持全体大会。Now let's welcome Mr. Zhang Jun, Secretary General of the Boao Forum for Asia, to moderate the plenary.
尊敬的赵乐际委员长，尊敬的各国领导人、国际组织负责人，尊敬的潘基文理事长、穆宏副理事长，各位论坛理事和高级顾问，各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，大家上午好！欢迎大家出席博鳌亚洲论坛2026年年会全体大会。出席本场活动的嘉宾有中华人民共和国全国人民代表大会常务委员会委员长赵乐际阁下，新加坡共和国总理黄循财阁下，阿塞拜疆共和国国民议会主席加法罗兰女士阁下，斯里兰卡民主社会主义共和国议长维克拉马拉特纳阁下，哈萨克斯坦共和国第一副总理斯科利亚尔阁下，出席会议的还有来自中国和其他国家的国家领导人、政府部门部长、 香港和澳门特别行政区行政长官、联合国粮农组织、世界知识产权组织、亚投行等国际组织主要负责人、各国驻华使节、论坛理事、高级顾问、合作伙伴、会员和企业界、学术界代表，我谨代表博鳌亚洲论坛对各位领导人和嘉宾的莅临表示热烈欢迎和衷心感谢。这次博鳌亚洲论坛年会受到广泛关注，一个重要原因就是我们的世界正在经历深刻变革，充满挑战和不确定性。世界向何处去？这是每个人都在思考的问题，也是博鳌亚洲论坛希望找到的答案。本次年会的主题是塑造共同未来，新形势、新机遇、新合作。我们期待通过共同努力，我们能够为亚洲和世界的发展把好方向，促进团结合作，化挑战为机遇，为实现共同发展和塑造共同未来做出贡献。现在，我荣幸地邀请博鳌亚洲论坛理事长潘基文阁下致辞。
Your Excellency, Chairman Chairwoman, Their Excellencies, the government leaders representing Singapore, Azerbaijan, Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, dear colleagues of the PFA Board of Directors, members of the Boao family, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Boao Forum for Asia, I'd like to extend a warm welcome and deep appreciation to you all for joining us at such a grand gathering, a much-needed brainstorming on pressing issues of the day, to think, debate, and act in order to shape a shared future of sustained peace and sustainable development for us all. We are standing at a historical crossroad. The past few years have seen challenging developments on a number of fronts, from unilateralism, threatening to hollow out global institutions and international law, protectionism, rebuilding trade barriers and tariff walls, confrontations and conflicts raging unchecked and unabated, to the growing climate crisis set to overshoot the critical 1.5 degrees Celsius limit, the stalled 2030 agenda with the Sustainable Development Goals, merely 35% only of SDG on track or making moderate progress, and the double-edged sword of artificial intelligence and biotech with both unprecedented potential and sobering unknown risks. An era of profound changes and transformation, unseen in scale and intensity for a century, is truly upon us, in full swing and far beyond expectation. Humanity has a simple but tough choice to make. Do we want a peace or war, or solidarity, or division, collaboration or confrontation, opening up or walling up, win-win or zero-sum? It's simple because the vast majority of countries have made the right choice by reaffirming and recommitting to the multilateral approach, international cooperation, and the collective path forward. It's tough. However, because the words and pledges remain to be matched with the follow-up actions on the ground. Here in Asia, we have chosen to do the right things and do things right. In contrast to the rising unilateralism and protectionism elsewhere, Asian countries have stayed the course of opening up, regional integration, and common development by forging closer economic and trade ties from the single largest free trade agreement, RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, upgrading of the China-ASEAN FTA to the first ever ASEAN GCC China Summit. Intra-Asia trade now stands at 57.2%, with China, Japan, Korea, and ASEAN increasingly reliant on the Asian market and regional value chains. A greater level of integration has put the Asian economy on a more solid footing, ensuring that Asia remains the engine of the world economy and a major contributor to the global growth with vigor, resilience, and vitality. Here in Boao, members of the Boao family continue to uphold and speak out loud and clear for multilateralism, free trade, and globalization. We are proud to be one of the few international organizations that are still committed to rebuilding trust, reigniting solidarity, and rekindling cooperation at a time of growing division, chaos, uncertainty, and complexity. What we need more than ever are dialogue and exchanges, such as this annual conference, not bickering, finger-pointing, or confrontation, more commonly seen elsewhere. That brings us to the theme of this annual conference: shaping a shared future, new dynamics, new opportunities, new cooperation. Our message is clear, loud and clear. So long as we stand firm in our conviction and work together in unity and solidarity, we can translate challenges into opportunities and achieve win-win through cooperation on our collective journey towards building a community with a shared future for mankind, as envisioned by President Xi Jinping of our host country, China. To that end, I take this occasion to announce a PFA initiative adopted by the Board of Directors the day before yesterday, the Boao Forum for Asia initiative on promoting Asian regional cooperation. In line with the mission and purpose of the PFA, based on lessons and experiences in national and regional economic development, we are deeply convinced of the power and effectiveness of regional cooperation through leading international organizations like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and the Global Green Growth Institute, GGGI, in Korea, in cushioning external shocks, increasing resilience, and lifting productivity. We, therefore, call upon all economies and stakeholders to, 1, recommit to multilateralism, free trade, and the open world economy as the right way forward. Second, empower the real economy with the digital and smart technologies. Third, pursue sustainable development through a green transition Fourth, establish arrangements, frameworks, and institutions of open regionalism at various levels. Fifth, strengthen connectivity and supply chain cooperation. Sixth, bridge the development divide for an inclusivity that leaves no one behind. And seventh, forge broader and closer partnership in shaping a bright shared future for Asia and the world. Excellencies, distinguished political leaders, ladies and gentlemen, alone we go fast. Together we can go far. This is an initiative that calls for collective, consistent, and constructive efforts of all stakeholders, and it will be a long and arduous journey that requires vision, patience, and persistence. I invite all of you to join us in this ambitious but critical undertaking to deliver a better present and future for our generations and generations to come. Excellency, again, let us work together to realize a better world and sustainable future for all of us, particularly of our succeeding generations. This is many of you for political leadership, and most of us, we have moral responsibility to work together. Thank you very much for your leadership. Let us work together for a better future. Thank you very much. 谢谢。
Thank you very much, Chairman Ban, for your insightful address and for presenting the initiatives on behalf of the World Forum for Asia concerning strengthening regional cooperation. Your long-standing dedication to multilateralism, global governance, reform, and common development has been inspiring and remarkable. And you have made invaluable contributions to the development of the World Forum for Asia. Once again, please accept our sincere thanks and highest respect. 现在，我荣幸地邀请中华人民共和国全国人民代表大会常务委员会委员长赵乐际阁下发表主旨演讲。
尊敬的各位各国领导人，尊敬的各位国际组织负责人，尊敬的各位博鳌亚洲论坛理事，各位来宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，很高兴同各位新老朋友在海南相聚，共同出席博鳌亚洲论坛2026年年会。首先，我谨代表中国政府对年会的召开表示热烈祝贺，对出席年会的各位嘉宾表示诚挚欢迎，对大家长期以来关心和支持中国发展表示衷心感谢。今年是博鳌亚洲论坛成立25周年。25年来，论坛立足亚洲，面向世界，深化对话合作，凝聚各方共识， 成为促进亚洲国家和世界各国交流互鉴、团结协作、共同发展的一块金字招牌。本届年会以塑造共同未来、新形势、新机遇、新合作为主题，具有很强的现实意义。当今世界地缘冲突、局部战争此起彼伏，单边主义、保护主义大行其道，霸权主义、强权政治威胁上升，文明隔阂、阵营对抗的旧思维沉渣泛起，各国人民要求和平与发展的愿望更加迫切，追求公平正义的呼声更加强烈。历史已经并将继续证明，团结才是力量，合作才能共赢。人类只有同心协力、携手前行，才能应对全球性风险挑战，创造美好未来。面对世界之变、时代之变、历史之变，习近平主席提出构建人类命运共同体理念和全球发展倡议、全球安全倡议、全球文明倡议、全球治理倡议，为世界百年变局向何处去指明了正确方向。我们要顺应和平、发展、合作、共赢的时代潮流，坚定信心，勇毅笃行，共同建设好亚洲家园，携手构建人类命运共同体。在此，我愿分享几点看法：摒弃冲突对抗，开创和平安宁的美好未来。亚洲人民曾饱受战乱之苦，深知和平稳定的珍贵。我们要践行共同、综合、合作、可持续的安全观，尊重各国主权和领土完整，坚持不干涉别国内政，通过和平方式政治解决矛盾分歧，推动构建安危与共、求同存异、对话协商的亚洲安全模式，共同维护地区和世界和平稳定，摒弃封闭排他，开创合作共赢的美好未来。过去几十年，亚洲国家秉持开放的区域主义，走出一条互利共赢之路，创造了举世瞩目的亚洲奇迹。我们要倡导普惠包容的经济全球化，坚持开放合作，相互成就，发挥比较优势，破除各种壁垒，深入推进区域一体化，共同维护产业链、供应链稳定畅通，为全球经济增长注入更多稳定性和正能量。摒弃强权霸凌， 开创公平正义的美好未来。亚洲人民有反抗殖民主义、帝国主义、霸权主义的光荣传统，都珍视和追求独立自主、自立自强、和平共处。我们要践行共商、共建、共享的全球治理观，坚持真正的多边主义，坚定维护以联合国为核心的国际体系和以国际法为基础的国际秩序，倡导平等有序的世界多极化，推动构建更加公正合理的全球治理体系，摒弃猜忌隔阂，开创互尊互信的美好未来。亚洲是人类文明的重要发祥地，各种文明在这片土地上交相辉映，古老的丝绸之路见证了亚洲人民友好往来、互学互鉴的历史。我们要践行全球文明倡议，尊重世界文明多样性，弘扬全人类共同价值，反对文明冲突和意识形态对抗，努力开创世界各国人文交流、文化交融、民心相通新局面，共同推动人类文明发展进步。女士们、先生们、朋友们，中国始终致力于发展经济、改善民生，并在自身发展的同时，促进各国共同发展。历经过去5年不懈奋斗，中国“14·5”圆满收官，中国式现代化迈出新的坚实步伐。这5年，中国经济实现5.4%的平均增速，经济总量突破140万亿元人民币，人均国内生产总值超过1.3万美金，对全球经济增长的贡献率稳定在30%左右，持续成为世界经济重要引擎。前不久，中国全国人大审查批准15规划纲要，确定了未来5年国家发展的主要目标和重大任务。中国将完整、准确、全面贯彻新发展理念，加快构建新发展格局，着力推动高质量发展，推动经济实现质的有效提升和量的合理增长，推动人的全面发展，全体人民共同富裕迈出坚实步伐。中国将进一步扩大高水平对外开放，与世界各国共享机遇，共创未来。中国将坚持扩大内需，不断释放超大规模市场红利。14亿多人口和世界上规模最大、成长最快的中等收入群体，蕴含着巨大投资和消费潜力。我们将坚持惠民生和促消费，投资与物和投资与人紧密结合， 积极扩大电信、教育、医疗、养老、育幼等领域投资和消费，继续办好进博会、广交会、消博会、联博会、服贸会、投洽会等等，欢迎各国企业开拓深耕中国市场，在全球竞争中赢得先机。中国将坚持创新发展，不断激发增长动能。2025年，中国创新指数排名首次进入全球前10，人工智能、量子科技等研发应用走在世界前列，构建起全球最大、发展最快的可再生能源体系。我们将坚持创新驱动发展，加快高水平科技自立自强，推动科技创新和产业创新深度融合，不断催生新质生产力。同时，积极参与全球科技治理，落实国际科技合作倡议和全球人工智能治理倡议，让科技创新成果更好造福各国人民。中国将坚持自由贸易，不断深化对外合作。今年是中国加入世贸组织25周年，中国已经是160多个国家和地区的主要贸易伙伴，与31个国家和地区签署24项自贸协定，海南自贸港全岛封关运作，成为引领中国新时代对外开放的重要门户。我们将稳步扩大制度性开放，提升贸易投资合作质量和水平，高质量共建“一带一路”，促进全球贸易和投资自由化、便利化，维护和发展开放型世界经济。中国将坚持全面依法治国，不断优化营商环境。法治是中国式现代化的重要保障。中国现行有效的法律310件，行政法规600余件，地方性法规14000余件，以科学完备、统一权威的法律体系为各方面工作法治化提供保障。去年，中国全国人大常委会制定修改《民营经济促进法》、《反不正当竞争法》、《仲裁法》、《海商法》、《对外贸易法》等法律，推动建设法治经济、信用经济。我们将持续打造市场化、法治化、国际化一流营商环境，依法保护外商投资合法权益，全面落实国民待遇，切实做到法律适用上一致，地位待遇上平等。中国将长期成为外资企业投资兴业的沃土。今年11月，将在中国深圳举行亚太经合组织第33次领导人非正式会议。 中方愿以担任东道主为契机，同各方携手建设亚太共同体，为亚太发展注入更大活力和更强动力。女士们、先生们、朋友们，百舸争流，奋楫者先，千帆竞发，勇进者胜。让我们高扬合作的风帆，铆定构建人类命运共同体的目标方向，劈波斩浪，奋楫前行，共创亚洲和世界更加美好的未来。最后，祝愿博鳌亚洲论坛2026年年会圆满成功。谢谢大家。
感谢赵乐际委员长阁下，感谢您对当前国际和地区形势所做的深刻阐释和对中国经济形势，特别是“十五五”规划纲要所做的深入分析和介绍。您提出的4点主张非常重要。面对复杂严峻挑战，我们必须把握正确方向，共同开创和平安宁、合作共赢、公平正义、互尊互信的美好未来。正如习近平主席所指出，中国好，世界才更好。我们有理由对中国的发展前景充满信心。我们也深信中国的发展将继续为各国带来机遇，为动荡的世界注入稳定性和确定性。Now it's my great honor to invite. I'm sorry for that. I lost a page. Okay. Now it's my great honor to invite His Excellency Prime Minister Lawrence Wong of the Republic of Singapore to deliver his address. The floor is yours.
Chairman of the National People's Congress, Mr. Zhao Leji, Chairman of the博鰲Forum for Asia, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here in Hainan Island for the first time and to join you for this 25th anniversary of the博鰲Forum for Asia. This milestone comes at a time of profound change in the world. Hence the theme of this year's conference on new dynamics, new opportunities, and new cooperation. And it's a theme that's both timely and pressing. We are seeing these new dynamics unfold all around us. The foundations that have sustained decades of global stability are under severe strain. The war in Ukraine is entering its 5th year. The conflict in the Middle East is in its 4th week and may well drag on. These wars have claimed many lives and inflicted immense suffering on populations. They are not distant events. They have real consequences for all of us, driving up food and energy prices, disrupting supply chains, and raising the risk of a global economic slowdown. More fundamentally, we are witnessing a worrying breakdown of the institutions and norms that have long anchored the global system. For decades, international law and multilateral rules provided guardrails for state behavior. They did not eliminate conflict, but they tempered it and brought a measure of predictability to international relations. Today, those guardrails are weakening. International relations are increasingly shaped by geopolitical rivalry and zero-sum thinking. States feel less bound by rules and more inclined to act whenever they have the power to do so. Small and middle-sized countries feel this most acutely. But even large powers will find that a world where the strong do as they please is ultimately more dangerous for all. When rules give way to raw power, order breaks down, and no country, big or small, is truly secure. These geopolitical shifts are spilling over into the economic domain. For nearly 8 decades, the global economy prioritized efficiency, integrating markets, and optimizing production across borders. That model is being reworked. Resilience and security are taking precedence. Countries are moving to reduce dependencies and reconfigure how they engage with the global economy. All this makes it harder to address shared global challenges, whether it is tackling climate change or ensuring the safe and responsible use of artificial intelligence. Progress on these matters depends on collective global action. But in today's environment, it has become far harder to find consensus. As a result, our problems are building up and compounding into more serious risk for all. Given this context, how do we move forward? In the past, our instinct was to seek broad multilateral arrangements. These remain important. But in today's more complex and fractured world, multilateral agreements are extremely hard to reach. Yet, given the challenges we face, we cannot afford to wait for every country to move together at the same time and at the same speed. So we must find new ways to cooperate. To be clear, this does not mean abandoning multilateralism. On the contrary, we must continue to strengthen and reform global institutions, including the WTO and the United Nations, so that they remain effective and relevant. But alongside these efforts, we also need more flexible approaches to cooperation. One practical way is for smaller groups of like-minded countries and partners to create plurilateral arrangements. These can move faster to test ideas, set standards, and deliver results. We already see this practical and pragmatic approach at work. Agreements like the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, and the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or the CPTPP, are advancing economic integration, while the Digital Economy Partnership Agreement, or DEPA, is breaking new ground in digital trade. These are not exclusive clubs. They are open and inclusive frameworks that set high standards and that others can join when they are ready. And in this way, they complement rather than replace the multilateral system. So in practice, we are likely to see a landscape of multiple overlapping coalitions, different groupings of countries working together on specific challenges. This may not be the ideal model for global cooperation, but in today's circumstances, it is a practical way to move forward and to sustain momentum. And if designed well, These coalitions can complement and reinforce one another and serve as building blocks for a more resilient global architecture over time. As we build this new generation of pathfinders, China will play a critical role, given its growing economic weight and increasing capacity to shape global outcomes. China has placed science, technology, and innovation at the center of its development strategy. It is already at the forefront in key emerging areas, including digital and green technologies. More importantly, it's advancing innovation at scale, accelerating adoption and driving progress across industries. China is therefore well positioned, not just to participate in the next wave of technological change, but to shape and lead this change. At the same time, we see growing global interest in Chinese culture and innovation, from films, music, and games to consumer brands and digital platforms. This is especially evident among younger audiences around the world and reflects China's expanding influence in both the creative and digital economies. With its growing capabilities, China has contributed to global development, for example, through platforms like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and the Belt and Road Initiative. Singapore supported both initiatives early because we recognize their potential to enhance connectivity, generate opportunities, and uplift communities across the region. China has also taken steps to assume greater responsibilities in the international system. It has voluntarily given up certain WTO developing country benefits and indicated its readiness to shoulder obligations commensurate with its level of development. Beyond this, China continues to contribute ideas to global discussions through its Community with a Shared Future and 4 key global initiatives on development, security, civilization, and governance. These reflect China's growing engagement in shaping the global agenda. Singapore welcomes this constructive engagement and will work with China in areas of shared interest, including on sustainable development and global governance. Singapore also believes that China can play an even bigger role in supporting regional prosperity and stability. China's vast domestic market can be a powerful engine of growth for the region. China's 15th five-year plan, with its greater emphasis on domestic consumption, points in this direction and will create new opportunities for the region. China can also help shape the region's evolving economic architecture. At a time of growing fragmentation, the world needs strong advocates for open and rules-based trade. Here in Hainan, the Free Trade Port stands as a concrete example of China's commitment to openness. And we hope China will continue in this direction, supporting open markets and strengthening confidence in a predictable and stable global trading system. In emerging domains, China's scale and capabilities also position it to influence new rules and standards in emerging domains. We recognize and value China's efforts, including through its current chairmanship of APEC, to advance trade digitalization and AI for trade. China's active participation in global discussions on AI governance will also be critical to building international consensus on the safe and responsible development of these technologies. Looking ahead, Singapore has confidence in China's long-term prospects. And that's why we've been a leading source of new investments into China for more than a decade. We will continue to partner China closely and deepen collaboration in areas of mutual benefit as both our economies evolve. We will also work with China to deepen its integration into regional economic frameworks. In particular, we support and welcome China's interest in joining CPTPP and DEPA. Integrating an economy of China's scale into these agreements is not straightforward, but doing so will bring significant benefits to the region and strengthen the relevance of these high-standard arrangements. We also see tremendous potential for deeper cooperation between China and ASEAN. The recent upgrade of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement will further strengthen our economic links. And there are opportunities to collaborate on shared challenges, for example, leveraging China's strength in renewable energy to support ASEAN's energy transition, including through initiatives like the ASEAN Power Grid. When Singapore assumes the ASEAN chairmanship next year, we will work with fellow member states to deepen regional integration and strengthen partnerships. In Asia, we will work closely with partners like China, Japan, Korea, and India. Beyond the region, we will expand engagement with key partners, including the Gulf Cooperation Council and the European Union. Through these efforts, we will keep ASEAN open, connected, and a driver of growth and cooperation in the global economy. The 25th anniversary of the博鰲Forum reminds us how far Asia has come through openness, cooperation, and shared progress. The new dynamics of our time understandably cause anxiety and uncertainty, but they also open up new possibilities for innovation, growth, and renewal. Whether we realize these opportunities will depend on our ability to work together, practically, flexibly, and constructively. Ultimately, Asia's future will not be determined by circumstance, but by the choices we make. We can drift towards rivalry and fragmentation, or we can choose cooperation and openness. If we choose well, Asia can continue to be a source of stability, dynamism, and hope for the future. And the next 25 years can be even more remarkable than the last. This future is within our reach. Let us build it together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Prime Minister, for your very much insightful address. And also, thank you for your great contribution in promoting regional cooperation and also your support to BFA's efforts in promoting regional economic integration. Thank you for that. Now it's my great honor to invite Her Excellency Chairwoman Sihabi Gafarova of the Milli Majlis of the Republic of Azerbaijan to deliver her address.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to take part in this important forum and to address such a distinguished audience. First of all, allow me to convey our sincere gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency Mr. Zhao Leji, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of the People's Republic of China, for the excellent organization of this forum and for the generous hospitality extended to all participants. I would also like to express my warm thanks to His Excellency Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Chairman of the Boao Forum of Asia, and His Excellency Mr. Zhang Chun, Secretary General of the Forum, for their kind invitation to participate in this highly regarded event. Ladies and gentlemen, at a time of growing geopolitical tensions, widening inequalities, and global challenges, dialogue and cooperation are not optional, they are imperative. In this regard, the Boao Forum stands as a vital platform for collective reflection and coordinated action. Over 25 years, the Forum has demonstrated its value as a space where leaders and experts come together to advance practical solutions, promote sustainable development, and strengthen international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, taking this opportunity, I would like to comment that China plays an important and constructive role in today's international system. It is remarkable achievements in economic, social, and technological development, and its commitment to sharing these gains reflect a forward-looking vision of community with a shared future for mankind. I believe that the successful implementation of the 15th five-year plan recently adopted by the National People's Congress will further advance and broaden this vision. At the same time, the global development, global security, global civilization, and global governance initiatives proposed by His Excellency President Xi Jinping, which are supported by my country, Azerbaijan, offer a comprehensive framework for building a more inclusive, secure, and sustainable world based on cooperation, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. Distinguished participants, shared perspectives bring nations closer. As Azerbaijan and China approach the 35th anniversary of diplomatic relations, it is encouraging to see our partnership reaching a new level. The recent high-level exchanges, including President Ilham Aliyev's visit to China and the signing of two key joint declarations on strategic and comprehensive strategic partnership, clearly demonstrate the depths of our political dialogue, mutual trust, and expanding cooperation. Azerbaijan fully supports these initiatives and shares these principles. Having endured nearly 3 decades of occupation and having restored its territorial integrity and sovereignty in line with international law, Azerbaijan attaches particular importance to the principle of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and non-interference. Our national vision, as defined by President Ilham Aliyev, is grounded in peace, development, multilateralism, mutual respect, and cooperation. This vision is consistently translated into actions. During its chairmanship of the non-aligned movement, Azerbaijan actively promoted the interests of the Global South and contributed to the strengthening the institutional foundations of the movement. The parliamentary network of the non-aligned movement, established at the initiative of President Aliyev and currently chaired by our parliament, provides an important platform for achieving common goals through parliamentary cooperation. As host of COP29, Azerbaijan worked to bridge divides between the global North and South and to advance key outcomes on the global climate agenda. We also continue to promote intercultural dialogue, multiculturalism, and tolerance, including through platforms such as the Global Baku Forum. In the coming months, Azerbaijan will host the World Urban Forum, and in autumn 2026, the summit of the Conference on Interaction and Confidence-Building Measures in Asia, further reinforcing our commitment to international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, recent global developments have once again underscored the strategic importance of energy security, transport, and connectivity. Azerbaijan plays a key role in ensuring energy security across a wide region, while ongoing investments in green energy will further strengthen this contribution. At the same time, Azerbaijan has become a major transport hub across Eurasia. As an early supporter of the Belt and Road Initiative, we continue to contribute actively to its development. Indeed, after China, Azerbaijan is the second largest investor in this initiative. Today, the Middle Corridor has proven to be one of the most optimal and secure roads linking Europe with Central Asia and China via the Caspian Sea. Furthermore, the restoration of transport and communication links between Azerbaijan's western regions and the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic following the peace process between Azerbaijan and Armenia will further enhance the efficiency of the Middle Corridor, which in particular is proving to be a reliable and efficient road connecting Europe and Asia. Distinguished participants, As the President of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, has emphasized, our projects are designed not only to deliver economic benefits, but also to promote stability, interdependence, and trust among nations. Today's forum once again demonstrates that through partnership, dialogue, and mutual respect, we can effectively address common challenges and build a more stable and prosperous future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Chairperson Gafarova. Thank you for your very much insightful remarks and also your ideas in promoting trust, dialogue, and cooperation. Now it's my great honor to invite His Excellency Jagat Ratnayake, Speaker of the Parliament of Sri Lanka, to deliver his address.
Excellencies, distinguished heads of the government and ministers, leaders of industry and academia, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to be here today addressing this distinguished gathering at the plenary session of Bao Forum for Asia 2026 conference. I wish to appreciate the role played by the Bao Forum for Asia as a platform for dialogue, cooperation, and vision for shared prosperity across our region over 25 years. I also wish to acknowledge the contribution of the People's Republic of China in supporting Bao Forum for Asia, a platform where not only governments but also businesses and academia work together in shaping Asia's future. Through initiatives that encourage connectivity, investment, and development partnerships, China has contributed meaningfully to advancing shared growth across the region. I therefore believe that this year's theme, Shaping a Shared Future, New Dynamics, New Opportunities, New Cooperation, is extremely timely and relevant to today's world context. The global landscape is shifting in ways that are both complex and uncertain. Conflicts continues to disrupt lives and economics, undermining decades of progress. Geopolitical tensions are fragmenting global cooperation at a time when unity is most needed. Economic systems are being reshaped. Geopolitical alignments are shifting, and societies are adapting to new realities at an unprecedented pace. Meanwhile, this climate crisis continues to intensify, bringing more frequent natural disasters such as adverse weather conditions faced by Sri Lanka recently during the Ditwa cyclone, which threatened food and water security and disproportionately impacting vulnerable communities. These global and multifaceted challenges have made cooperation a necessity and no longer a choice. The importance of South-South cooperation has become even more evident in current evolving global landscape. While countries of the South contribute the least to many global crises, we often are the one that bears the most adverse impacts. At a time when the world is grappling with shared and interconnected challenges, The importance of solidarity, collaboration, openness, and collective accountability cannot be overstated. One of the most defining forces of our era is the rise of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. AI is already transforming industries, accelerating scientific discovery, and reshaping how we live and work. It has the potential to enhance productivity, improve healthcare, strengthen education system, and help us tackle global challenges such as climate change. At the same time, these advancements come with serious risks that must be managed with foresight and care. They raise ethical questions about privacy, data governance, algorithmic bias, and accountability. Moreover, unequal access to technology risks widening existing economics, social and gender disparities both within and among nations. The rise of cyber threats, digital misinformation, and technological fragmentations further underscores that the need for robust government frameworks and strengthened international coordination. This exemplifies why the idea of shared future must move from aspiration to action. The present is a defining moment for Asia, which is home to half of the world's population and an expanding share of global commerce, a dynamic force of global economic growth and positioning it as a key driver of the future. Our region is abundant in cultural richness, human capitals, and resources. It is a ground in shared principles and has a capacity to lead through harmony, mutual respect, and partnerships rather than dominance. I therefore believe South-South partnerships allow us to share development experiences, exchange technology, expand trade, and build resilience together. First, there is a need to reinforce multilateralism and promote inclusive dialogue. Constructive engagement among nations, institutions, and stakeholders is vital to rebuilding the trust and ensuring that the global governance mechanism remains effective and responsive. Second, the technological advancement must be guided by shared principles, establishing common standards for ethical AI, enhancing transparency, and promoting equitable access to digital infrastructure will be critical to ensure that innovation contributes to broad-based and sustainable development. Third, we must accelerate climate action and ensure that the Asia's rapid development is balanced with environmental responsibility. Sri Lanka, a country highly vulnerable to climate change, recognizes the need to transition towards renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and climate resilience infrastructure. Regional collaboration in green technology, climate finance, and knowledge sharing will be essential to achieving our collective climate goals. Fourth, we must ensure that sustainable development remains at the center of our shared agenda. The future of Asia will be shaped by innovations. Investment in education and healthcare, digital transformation, reducing inequality, and research partnerships will empower the youth, ensuring that technological progress benefits all segments of the society. Ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lanka is currently undertaking important reforms aimed at restoring macroeconomic stability, strengthening governance, and creating a more competitive and investment-friendly economy. Under the leadership of President Anukumara Disanayake, Sri Lanka is committed to building a transparent, people-centered, digitalized, and inclusive model for sustainable development with the support from our international partners. We aim to strengthen democratic governance, revitalize the economy, and ensure that development benefits all segments of society. These reforms are guided by the vision for thriving nation and beautiful life. In this journey, partnerships across Asia will play a vital role in transforming Sri Lanka as a hub for trade, investment, innovation in the Asia-Pacific region. We invite investors, entrepreneurs, and development partners to collaborate with us in areas such as renewable energy, tourism, digital services, logistics, and advanced manufacturing. We believe stronger South-South partnerships and knowledge sharing in trade, infrastructure, digital connectivity, agriculture, and climate resilience is essential in sharing a more balanced and inclusive international order, while supporting each other to navigate the uncertainties of the modern world. I believe that the BAO Forum is one of the best forums to work together to overcome these common challenges through South-South cooperation, which is built on mutual respect and shared opportunity and responsibility. On that note of optimism, I invite you all to work together to build an Asia that is open, resilient, sustainable, and inclusive. Together, let us shape a shared future, one defined by new dynamics, new opportunities, and above all, new cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your wisdom, for your thoughts, and I fully agree with you that we should make joint efforts in translating a shared future from vision to action. Thank you. His Excellency Kim Min-suk, Prime Minister of the Republic of Korea, has sent us a video address to this plenary session. Now please watch the video message.
Your Excellency Chairman Chaology, Chairman Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General Chang Chin, distinguished guests, it's my great pleasure to extend my sincere congratulations on the opening of the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2026. I had looked forward to visiting Boao in person, but as the situation in the Middle East continues to go on, the Korean government has launched an emergency economic task force, and I have been called to fulfill my duty as a Prime Minister. I ask for your kind understanding in this matter. 한국은 창립 회원국으로서 지난 25년간 보아오 포럼과 함께 해왔습니다. 그간 중국을 비롯한 회원국들의 부단한 노력으로 보아오 포럼은 정부와 기업, 학계와 정계가 함께 아시아의 미래를 논의하는 대화 플랫폼으로 자리 잡았습니다. 귀빈 여러분, 전 세계에 불어닥친 불확실성의 파고가 거셉니다. 중동 상황과 러우 전쟁 등 국제정세의 긴장이 고조되고 있습니다. 기술혁신, 공급망 재편, 인구 구조와 같은 구조적 변화도 빠르게 진행되고 있습니다. 이번 보아오 포럼을 통해 변화하는 국제 환경 하에서 우리가 취할 새로운 방향에 관해 함께 논의하게 된 것을 뜻깊게 생각합니다. 세 가지 방향성, 혁신, 제도, 상호 연결성을 제시하고자 합니다. 첫째 혁신입니다. 기술 혁신을 통한 새로운 성장 동력이 공동 번영에 기여하도록 국제협력을 지속해야 합니다. 특히 AI 반도체, 바이오와 같은 첨단 분야에서 각국의 산업과 사회 전반에 혁신을 확산시키는 한편 국가 간 협력 노력도 병행해야 합니다. 한국은 AI 전환, AI 기본법 시행 등을 통해 혁신 기술의 산업 현장 적용, 신뢰할 수 있는 디지털 가버넌스 확립 등의 측면에서 아시아의 발전에 기여하고자 합니다. 둘째, 제도입니다. 국제경제 환경이 불확실할수록 아시아의 영내 다자 협력 플랫폼인 RCEP과 APEC, 팩을 통해서 무역과 투자의 예측 가능성을 높이고 공급망의 안전과 복원력을 강화할 수 있습니다. 작년 경주 에이펙 정상회의의 성과가 올해 선전 에이펙 정상회의로도 이어져서 영내 개방성과 안정성이 제고되고 디지털 전환과 포용적 성장에 보다 가까워지기를 바랍니다. 셋째, 상호 연결성입니다. 변화의 흐름에 맞춰서 국제협력의 지평을 새로운 의제로 확장하고 협력 주체도 다양화해야 합니다. 한국은 2026년을 녹색 대전환의 원년으로 삼아 산업과 에너지 전환을 가속화하고 있습니다. 공급망 안정성, 보건과 재난 대응, 사이버 및 초국경 안보 등 다양한 분야의 협력도 강화하고 있습니다. 영내 협력은 정부 간 합의만으로 완성되지 않습니다. 결국 사람과 사람의 연결이 협력을 지속시킵니다. 청년 인재 교류, 공동 연구는 장기적으로 지역의 신뢰 자본을 키우는 기반입니다. 귀빈 여러분, 중국은 올해 15차 5개년 계획을 본격화하고 있습니다. 시진핑 주석께서 강조하신 바와 같이 중국은 높은 수준의 대외 개방을 추진하고 장춘, 하이난, 옌타이 등에서 국제협력 시범구, 산업협력 단지와 같은 협력 거점을 조성해 왔습니다. 한국은 글로벌 기업과 자본, 기술이 결합되는 이러한 플랫폼을 적극 활용해서 중국과의 산업기술 투자 협력을 구체화하고 성과로 만들어 나가려 합니다. 이를 통해 한중 양국은 물론 세계 경제에 기여하는 협력 모델을 만들어가기를 기대합니다. 지난 1월 이재명 대통령께서 중국을 방문하셨을 때 한국과 중국은 같은 바다를 한 방향을 향해 항해하는 배와 같다고 말씀하신 바가 있습니다. 이러한 동주 공제의 정신은 불확실성이라는 도전에 직면한 오늘 더욱 절실하며 한중뿐 아니라 아시아 모두에 해당하는 가치입니다. 오늘 우리가 마주한 도전은 어느 한 나라의 힘만으로는 해결하기가 어렵습니다. 영내 국가들이 신뢰를 바탕으로 힘을 합칠 때 비로소 새로운 기회로 도전을 바꿔갈 수 있을 것입니다. 期待博鳌亚洲论坛持续发展，成为能够积累这种信任的对话与合作平台。谢谢。
I thank His Excellency the Prime Minister's video message and also the strong support extended to the Boao Forum for Asia. I very much look forward to his personal participation next year. Now it's my great honor to invite Mr. Andrew Forrest, the Executive Chairman and founder of Fortescue Australia, to deliver his remarks.
Ni hao, ni hao. 谢谢, 谢谢. I stand here undeserving, humble as a representative of the global business community, grateful to the sovereign leadership I've witnessed this morning. I also stand here grateful specifically to my chairman of the Boao Forum for Asia, Ban Ki-moon, who said very clearly, challenges to opportunities. That is my theme But let me ask you to look around a corner with me a little. All of you know, who know me personally, that I champion and work well with all peace-loving nations. So I would like to address with you what has been obliquely referred to many times, and that is the war in Iran and Ukraine. I know these nations. I've seen Ukraine become resilient to an overwhelming force who's bombed and bombed and bombed it for as many years as Iran has effectively been at war with many nations and has been extremely resilient for as many decades as Ukraine has had years against an overwhelming force. It's not working. Iran, if it is targeted for its civilian power energy systems, will respond, and perhaps this time not so surgically. It will lead to further breakdown in the energy systems of the world, and I remind everyone, fossil fuel is a weapon of war. That further breakdown could come home to North America, who may state they don't need the Straits of Hormuz, but of course they are a free market economy and their energy suppliers will take the market price. In that circumstance, with the midterm elections coming up in the United States, the President may restrict or stop the exports of gas to the world from North America to try and regain an electoral promise that he will make American industries more competitive. In that event, ladies and gentlemen, you have true fragmentation of the world. Now, I want to take you to a choice, leaders, for the weapon of peace. The weapon of peace is renewable energy. For those who think the technology isn't there, please have a little look at China. It's a fairly big player. China is going green because, like me as a doctor of ecology, it understands what is happening with climate change, like my dear friend, my chairman, Ban Ki-moon, sees the deep threat to all of us, but also because economically it makes huge sense for China. And I remind every business leader and every sovereign leader, you are not independent, you are not free, while you are relying on others for the most fundamental of your necessities, which is energy. From energy rolls health, rolls food, rolls freedom. And so I congratulate all those nations, and I see them in front of me, who are going to new energy, going to new materials, going to new green steel, as Australia is working hard to do with China, with huge partnerships in the making. And I say, ladies and gentlemen, to each of us, go with your freedom. Go with a much lower cost of energy. Go with an energy which is just verging on going fully baseload 24/7 power, like nuclear, like gas, like coal. And that is renewable energy. Working closely with partners all over the world and our own brilliant scientists, and very closely with China. Fortescue will deliver the world's first 24/7 baseload green energy grid, and it is starting now and it will be complete next year, and there lies the end of 1 billion litres of diesel a year. And if diesel were to rise by, say, $1 a litre, then the cost to my industry is $5 billion a year. That is what we can save if we switch to new energy, ladies and gentlemen. So I ask all of us now, take the lead of a corporation who is doing what it says it will do, that is my company Fortescue. Take the lead of China, which is acting in the best interests of each of its people, to lower the cost of living and increase the standard of living. And let us all, for humanity, our shareholders, our voters, our taxpayers, move to green energy. The model is here, ladies and gentlemen. The excuses are not. Let us move now. Thank you.
我们已经聆听了今天全体会议上全部嘉宾的演讲，让我们再次以热烈的掌声对赵乐际委员长和各国领导人、工商界代表的精彩演讲表示衷心感谢。感谢你们所展现的战略眼光和分享的真知灼见，还有其他的领导人、国际组织负责人和很多重要嘉宾，在其他的场合，并将继续在各种场合发表重要见解。我也借此机会，同样对他们表示衷心的感谢。世界大变局既充满挑战，也蕴含新的机遇。只要我们坚定信心，把握新形势，抢抓新机遇，拓展新合作，坚持不懈推动构建人类命运共同体，我们一定能够开创更加美好的未来。全体大会到此结束，谢谢大家。